Hey y'all, and welcome to this energy check-in. As always, check out my description box below. And as always, I'm very thankful for all of you following me here on my YouTube channel. Not only to watch tarot, but to impact the world around you. And that's what we're all here to do as Twin Flames, is learn the power within us so they can impact the world around us. And while I'm mentioning that, I encourage you all to connect with Casey on Soul to Soul. I have her link in my description box below. She's also a wonderful twin flame who is on her journey. His journey is all about self-discovery. And when I say that, there's a lot entangled with that word itself. And when I mention entanglement, if you know anything about quantum physics, you know what entanglement means. And when we are twin flames, we actually are entangled with our person because we are one, right? And no matter where we may be at in the world, we are still entangled with our person. And it's meant to be that way because we're here for a great purpose, and it's going to require both our energies. Let's move the camera down a little bit. It's going to require both our energies combined for us to really impact the world in a powerful way. Because there's a lot of forces out there that are in control of the world that doesn't serve the world in a good fashion, so to speak. And a lot of people are kind of bound to that old paradigm. And us twin flames are meant to change that paradigm that Earth is currently residing in. Because it's going to take a lot of momentum. Momentum is about, energy to change the world that the current energy of the world is in right now. So that's why I'm kind of seeing this right here, the two of Pentacles. We'll get to that too. And my camera's kind of going in and out here. I'm just going to make sure that it stays on while I'm doing this recording for y'all. But as I'm saying, like, what I'm seeing here, let's look at the world as this Eight of Swords right now. It's in this grand illusion that it's in control of everything, but at the same time, it's being bound by old paradigms. And it wants to be free, but if you know anything about like the traditional Eight of Swords, the girl that is bound is blindfolded. She can't even see that there's something far greater than her that is there to help people in their current situations. But a lot of people like to be bound because they're comfortable there. They don't know anything different. Notice that she's not struggling in her way that she's bound. In fact, she can't even set herself free. But it's her own stubbornness that's keeping her stuck there, because you can see that her arms are crossed and wrists are attached together. And no one's forcing her to be that way. She's keeping herself stuck there. That's kind of what the current energy of the world is in right now, where it's almost like they've been bound for so long, they don't know how to be anything different. And that's what's, for lack of a better word, so confusing to people about why the world is in the current condition, because they don't realize that they put themselves there. And you have to looking for someone outside themselves to set themselves free, like their spirit guides or some miraculous thing outside themselves to really set themselves free from the situations they put themselves into to begin with. Because regardless if they were consciously aware of the actions they took to get themselves into the situations they are in, it doesn't matter. No one forced them to be in the current situation they are in. Now, they can look at government and say, oh, if the government just did this or that, I don't want to be in this current situation. Folks, the government is us. If we don't realize that we surrendered our power over the government wouldn't even exist. Because it's only us that gives the government power But if we become consciously aware of that, we can take our power back and then realize that the government bends their knee to us instead of us bending our knee to government. We were never intended to live our lives surrendering our power to any entity outside of ourselves. In fact, if we connect to our heart space, where our essence is, where unconditional self-love exists, and by means it resonates outside of us too. That's why people are either attracted by us or repelled by us, because it's all depending on the energy that we transmit from within us outwardly. So that's why the inner work is so important. And that's why the union package and master program are so important to you too, because it's gonna give you the right resources needed for you to be the best version of you. Because a lot of us have wounds within inside of us that we don't know how to, heal from. So we feel stuck in the situation that we're in because we don't understand how to get out of it. And a lot of it just has to do with inner child work, because the inner child is going to be the authentic part of us. It's going to really show us how to unbound ourselves, because within us we have everything. We don't lack anything. Our essence is whole and complete. We just have to relearn how to tap back into our essence so that we can get the proper guidance and be connected. Because the union card is all about connection. Four wands is all about union. And then in that four wands also represents four alchemical elements. And if you don't know anything about the alchemical elements, they're, earth, wind, air. Well, air and wind are the same, but earth, air, excuse me. Wow. Sorry. I just got energy bolt there. Kind of knocked me off my thinking here. But anyways, the four alchemical elements are earth, water, air, and fire. I'm only laughing because of the energy that just kind of flew through me there for a moment. But before you can even get four wands, you have to learn how to energetically balance out your energies. And the two pentacles, what I'm really seeing here, are representing the two energies that resided within us. And pentacles are about the earth energy. Right now, since I'm seeing the inner child work here, the inner child is really, if you're at the beginning of your journey, you're really starting to reestablish your foundations. And your foundation is always built on pentacle energy. And pentacles do represent the money system, but it also represents the earth elements. And that's where you build a foundation off of, is the earth. Then everything else is built on top of that. So you gotta really learn how to be in balance and be at ease with that balance. Mind you, this child right here is at ease. And not really being focused on even your ships. Your ships are your true desires, your true passions that are coming into you in this experience that you are currently having here. And right now, you can even see on this card that your inner child is not even focused on future outcomes. Because you notice that the ship is off in the distance, so it's a future outcome. He's being at ease at it and just learning about himself more. And your inner child is going to show you authentically if you're doing the work on yourself properly or not. So if not aligned with your inner child, that means you have to learn how to do your inner child work the right way. Yeah, I put emphasis on correct way. I said right way before, but the correct way, because a lot of you don't even know how to do inner child work properly. And in the master program, it goes deeper into how to do that inner child work. So if you got the packages and you don't know how to do inner child work, you gotta first lay down the foundation correctly. The foundation is going to be built on the information you get out of the union package, and the master program is going to teach you how to implement that knowledge into your life. So you can't just dive into the master program where all the good information is to apply that stuff to your life if you don't have the knowledge to be able to apply it to your life in the first place. So those two packages go hand in hand. the union package and the master program. You can't do one without the other. They're both important. And a lot of you are just kind of students in that understanding. You realize you are important, that you are a seed, and at this time, a lot of you might be overwhelmed by your emotions because of the work you're doing on yourself, and you don't understand how to balance out those emotions. Right now, you're still trying to figure that out. You're not very mature in this understanding, because this is a knight here in this card deck. But what I really see here is a student still learning how to empower themselves, because they're kind of stuck in their thoughts. They're kind of bound by their thoughts, thinking they got it all figured out, thinking they got everything that they need for a union because they've been working on themselves. But this is a projection from your ego, because you should be enjoying your current energy you are in. Because if you're looking for anything outside yourself to fulfill yourself, then you still are not fully connected with yourself. Because if you were, you wouldn't be looking for anything outside yourself to feel whole and complete. So if you're not quite there yet, by all means, you can even get my passion book too for that. That might give you further insight on how to be more connected. There's a lot of tools that are available to you to help you feel connected. Because right now, what I'm really seeing here, especially in these two cards here on the bottom row, is about self-deception. Because you're feeling stuck. You're feeling stuck from being able to have that Four of Wands. You realize you have to have the inner union first. That's why this card is in reverse. It's inner union. But at the same time, you're self-deceiving yourself, thinking you got it all figured out when you're not in union yet. But you're heading towards there. See, the card is heading towards union, but you're stuck. And yeah, your spirit guide's there, pushing you along the way. But you got the swords in the way, because you're not in the truth of your... Basically, this is about self-deception. If you don't know how to get out of self-deception, by all means, look at my playlist down below. Sophia Charles created I believe it's audio about self-deception. And if you don't know which one it is, by all means, DM me or even leave a comment down below to this video, and I'll direct you to that particular video if you're not able to find it for yourself. Then once you get unstuck with your own self-deception, thinking you got it all figured out, then you can start to step into your truth, because you're finally being truthful with yourself. To be really in the Ace of Swords, it's all about being truthful with yourself. That's why the World card is showing up there with your spirit guides, knowing that you have to go on your journey of self-discovery first before you can be in truth with yourself. And this is a continuous cycle. Mind you, this is a wreath, and it's a 360, right? There's not a break in that wreath. It just continuously goes on and on and on and on. This journey of yourself never ends. Every step that you take on your journey, you're discovering something more about yourself than you knew prior about yourself. I'm on my journey too. I haven't stopped anywhere. I'm discovering things continuously. Even if it's just my inner world. Mind you, our inner world is reflected out in the outer world. So I encourage you all to be more connected to your inner world, because that's what's going to transform your outer world, is your inner world. That's why the inner work that we do is so important, because we're transforming that world within us. And once we transform the world within us, it will automatically transform the world around us too. And you can't do this from ego though, because ego is going to be like, well, this should be done, this should be done, and this should be done. There's no order or list to this, folks. But your essence knows exactly what you're here to do. So if you really want to basically accomplish what you're here to do and serve your purpose and role here, and know what your ultimate purpose is here, then you have to be connected to your essence. That's the only way you know for sure you're doing what you're here to do. But if you're still in doubt, which a lot of you are, because you're bound to your own thoughts, you can't do this from your head. Swords are all about, thoughts. You can't do your journey from your head. You have to do it from your essence. A lot of you are still trying to figure out how to switch over from your thoughts to your essence. Do you all know how that even feels within you? Where your essence resonates from versus your own thoughts? Just putting it that way should give you an aha moment. A lot of you don't even know how to separate those two. You think they're one and the same because everything resonates from the same place within you. You have multiple energy sources within you. You gotta learn how those energies resonate within you before you can even learn how to balance those out. Because if you don't know how your own energies resonate within you, you're gonna have a hard time balancing out all your energies before you can even have inner union with yourself. Because there's just a lot involved with union. It's definitely not about your person. Well, your person is you. So yeah, it is about your person, but it's about you. If you want union, you have to have union with yourself first. So you have to have that inner union first before it takes place out in the 3D. That's what's keeping you stuck. You're looking towards the 3D union so much, you're missing the whole point of union. Union is about inner union with yourself. Knowing yourself as much as you can. And I put it that way because there is no end game to that. You're just continuously learning about yourself. And it does involve your inner child. Mind you, if your inner child is not even comfortable, it's going to be really hard for you to do the inner work. Because your inner child is going to show you authentically how to do your inner work properly. That's why in the master program, there is a whole section about inner child work. Because it's that important. If it wasn't important, we wouldn't be talking about it. Inner child work is very important. It's something you cannot neglect or ignore. Because when you neglect or ignore it, you're neglecting the inner child that's going to help you recreate who you are. That's right. Your inner child is going to show you how to recreate who you are. Because a lot of you have had very neglectful, painful, harmful childhoods. And it's hard for you to go in and connect to your inner child because they're not at ease because you haven't created a safe place for them. Because you don't know how to create that for them because you never experienced it for yourself. That's what we have this community for, is to help you understand what a safe place feels like. Because a lot of us have recreated that for ourselves. We've gone through our experiences as a child in the 3D sense, but if we really want to have a passionate life, we have to have a passion within us to have a passionate life. A lot of times that comes from our inner child, because children themselves are playful. A lot of us have lost sight of that side of ourselves. And if you don't know how to create that safe place for your inner child, then join Discord. We can help you understand how to create that safe place for your inner child again. Because you may not know how to. Because you didn't grow up in a family that showed you the support and love that you deserved and needed as a child. Therefore, it's hard for you to reflect that to your inner child too. Because you haven't learned how to create that safe place that your inner child can have a safe place to be his authentic or her authentic self too. So that's part of why you're feeling stuck too. So you don't know how to connect to your inner child because you don't feel safe there to begin with. And that's what's keeping you from having inner union too. That's why you're feeling stuck. Because you're not learning how to basically bring this all together for yourself so you can feel whole and complete within you. So I strongly encourage you to invest in the union package and the master program that's in my description box below. That's where you can start. That's where you can actually start transforming your own life too, so you can feel better about yourself, so you don't feel so stuck anymore. And not knowing how to get out of this situation so you can start experiencing this in your life. Well, I love you a lot, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.